I'll tell you my first memory is singing. Singing. So I was cleaning the church out. This is a long, long time ago, and they were throwing these out. So I grabbed them, and I remember coming. It was called Space Cadets on Wednesday night, and Mrs. Hilligus would stand up in front, and we would sing the countdown song, Somewhere in Outer Space, and then they would go through, and these are all the lyrics that as kids we would sing, and this is how we learned all our Bible songs. So, and we had a little hymnal. It was the hymnal for boys and girls, and on Sunday morning, we were downstairs before we went to Sunday school, and we would pick out songs, and we would all have the hymnals and sing. So some of the earliest memories I have is coming to Space Cadet.
We had a youth group that was just very active, very fun. Dale Mulcree was our youth group leader, and I'll tell you, we had so much fun in high school because he was full of fun, and he made sure that we were there, and he noticed if we weren't there. He called one night on a Friday night, he called me up, and I'm at home, and I'm dragging my feet, and he said, Penny, are you coming to youth group tonight? And I said, no, Dale, I don't think I'm coming. He said, you're coming, and I'm coming down to get you. It's like, oh, okay. So he drove all the way from Medford out to the farm to pick us up, to take us back to Medford for youth group. And yeah, Dale was very influential.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember giving him a Bible for Christmas and we spelled his name wrong? We had it all engraved and it was spelled wrong. I'm sure he still has it, but. We were in transition of a pastor. It was before Pastor Brian came, and we needed we were just in transition. So we had a prayer meeting. Actually, I called everybody in the directory, and we organized a prayer meeting. And I still can remember that prayer meeting. We all got together, and everybody went in groups, and we just prayed for our church, and we prayed, for a good leader to come. And after that, and I remember pausing and listening to hearing the murmuring in the church. It was full. The whole church was full of people that came out for this prayer meeting. And afterwards, we stood around the sanctuary holding hands. And so we went around the whole sanctuary and up the middle, and all held hands together and just prayed for our church. And then we met every week after that and prayed for our church.
My prayer was that I would find a faithful husband. And God brought Larry to First Baptist as a teacher in Medford, and he was not going to church at the time, but it was just a few years later that Larry and I met, and we started dating, and we got married, and that truly is an answer to prayer of a young girl's heart. I think that his advice to Pastor Brian for the first service would be that it would be very appropriate if Pastor Brian would wear a suit and tie.
Absolutely.
But that would be strong advice that Jerry would give to Pastor Brian. He would also want to make sure that the sound system is top-notch in the new church. And so that was very important to him, music.
And he would invite a lot of people. He would, all those little cards, all those little invite cards, he was always inviting people to church. I'm sure there's people in church right now as a result of my dad inviting. And he would obviously be very excited that more people would come to know Christ.